Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to another session of our World War II Marvel Superheroes campaign in the Mouth of Madness. If you haven't been watching the series up until this point, I would certainly encourage you to seek out the Dreamslayer Studios channel on YouTube so you can see firsthand what brought us to this point. And if you like what you see here tonight, consider supporting us on Patreon. We'd really appreciate that. I'm gonna do away with all of the rest of the introductions and gonna jump right into the recap of what went on in the last episode of In the Mouth of Madness for everyone, so we can just get right into the game tonight. So last session, the Reclaimers found themselves back home in the States in search of the Goddard coin, the final piece of the Eden mechanism that has been at the root of their worldwide search. Visiting the site where the coin was initially discovered, they came across a strange and powerful wrecking crew in possession of Asgardian forged weapons, preparing to torture a rather gruff but dashing archaeologist by the name of Indiana Jones, attempting to coerce the whereabouts of the Goddard coin out of him themselves. After a quick confrontation with the Reclaimers, Indy suggests that they visit an old friend of his, Agatha Harkness, in Salem, Massachusetts, as her son, Nicolas Scratch, is rumored to be the last individual in possession of the Goddard coin. Scratch is hidden away in the mythic lands of a place called New Salem, a place only accessible by those who know its hidden location in the Colorado Rockies. The Reclaimers now find themselves in the humble Gothic abode of Agatha Harkness, catching up on some much needed rest and preparing for their journey into New Salem, as Mr. Arcane and Agatha work together to prepare talismans for the team to better prepare them for a mystical battle with a city of witches. So that's pretty much where we left off. I'm wondering if maybe we might need to kind of recap some of the conversation that kind of led to this point. Agatha has invited you all to kind of stay the night at her house while she and Mr. Arcane, and I can't remember if Will, were you going to be kind of involved in trying to help with these talismans in some way? I couldn't remember.
I was.
So while they work on something, maybe to kind of help boost or protect the team as a whole, um, should we kind of recap her little conversation with you guys as far as what the background of Nicholas Scratch and New Salem is? Would that help you all out?
Works for
Yeah,
me. I mean,
never hurts to have a recap.
yep.
I think I remember, but a little more wouldn't hurt.
Okay, so I'll kind of go over her bit of dialogue that she had, kind of reminiscing about her son and New Haven. I am a woman who has seen the earth toil under great evil and have been victimized by men who were horribly misguided in practicing their faith. As humans, we fear what we do not understand. It is due to this fear that I and my brothers and sisters, united in magic, chose to remove ourselves from civilization centuries ago in the unsettled mountains of the Colorado Rockies. My husband and I were the overseers of our community, and we sought to live in peace. I bore a son in our home of New Haven, my poor young Nicholas. And yes, there is no coincidence that the man you seek shares the name of my son, for they are one and the same. Nicholas was enraptured by the powers that coursed through his veins, and mesmerized by the energies that our community shared. As he aged, he grew in power and became mad, and he took 7 wives in secret, each of which bore a child of their own, whose blood mixed with the potency of my bloodline. Eventually, I was ostracized from the beautiful city that my husband and I created, and my own son usurped control. He now sits as the overlord of New Salem, and he and his children are hell-bent on the destruction of the mortal engine. I believe he has taken the Goddard coin to further his machinations, to mete out his final vengeance on the world at large. New Salem can only be reached by those who possess access to magical powers and who know its location. I can transport you there, but alas, I should not follow, as my son would be able to sense my presence as soon as I set foot on the soil of my former home. Now, I warn you, however, you will be met with much force upon your arrival. The community does not take well to strangers. In my opinion, your best course of action is to be taken prisoner and be brought before my son, and take him while he is off his guard. Beware of the Salem Seven. They are as mad as my son and will protect him to their dying breath. So that was essentially the conversation that you all had with her before you all decided to kind of focus on maybe trying to buff yourselves up a little bit with the help of Mr. Arcane and with the knowledge that Agatha has of her former home.
And in my case, literally, I want to be nice and shiny when we get there.
Right. So those of you that really maybe can't help on the aspect of, creating these talismans that the magicians are kind of setting out to create, probably would want to catch a little bit of shut-eye. She's got several rooms upstairs in her home where you guys can spread out and catch a few Z's while she and Mr. Arcane and Will kind of work together on trying to create something to kind of help protect the group.
Do any of her rooms not look like, something from, Dracula meets the Wolfman?
No, as you can see on the map, they all look like something out of a 1930s horror film. Maybe one of them edges a little bit more towards Abbott and Costello meet the werewolf, but
Yeah, well, I guess I'll just, pick one.
If memory serves, they tended to be rather large 4-poster canopy beds that were very squishy.
yes, there were, yes.
And
do you
often
guys
folded back into secret chambers or collapsed into pits or...
right?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Are you guys able to see the map better this time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
it's very clear, and it still has lots of sparklies and pretties. So.
All righty. Well, it's not as animated as it used to be, but it's, the idea is still there. So.
I used to just take a black magic marker and a sheet of dry erase hex paper, hex sheet, and scribble a bunch of walls and lines on it, and that was good enough for my players. Gosh darn it!
Yeah, that's what I used to do too.
I'm not gonna lie. Up until very recently, even on Roll20, I've done that when my players have gone someplace I didn't expect. I'm like, oh,
Yep.
okay, yeah, let me make a really cool map. One sec.
MS Paint it is. Here we go.
I
Yes,
always
indeed.
keep a few maps over on the side area there, just in case I need a little something. So as a matter of fact, I actually have done that potentially for tonight's little adventure. I got home after work and I was like, oh shit, I don't think I have anything.
Sure,
Yeah,
all my
Shelly is
players.
going to grab some shut-eye for the first time, and I don't even know how long.
I think the players in my one D&D game probably got a little sick of that one clearing with the little cave over on the side, little bridges.
Yeah,
Jeff
I
knows what
used
I
to
mean.
use a double-sided map for champions that had like a intercity street intersection on one side and a warehouse on the other. So every single fight either took place on the same street or in the same warehouse.
It's a rough neighborhood, man.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, most of you guys are heading to bed. I would say overnight, Agatha meets with Mr. Arcane and probably Will to kind of come up with a little bit of a plan. Agatha says, I must say I was not exactly expecting such a massive amount of company this evening. But we shall work together and put our heads together, put our magics together, put our occult knowledge together to come up with at least something that would give your expedition team a little bit extra protection. Now, we have very limited time with which to do this. So, I would say if we could gather something personal from each of the individuals that we wish to protect, Mr. Arcane and I should be able to work together to create at least some sort of protective spell on these items. So with that being said, for those of you that are off sleeping, they probably would have maybe discussed this before you guys went to bed. What do you think each of you might be able to provide Agatha and Mr. Arcane?
Spartan will have given them a pendant necklace.
Okay.
Kind of tryable.
I would probably have a photo of my parents, that I carry around, with me. I don't really have a best girl back home, but I would certainly have some kind of memento of what I'm fighting for.
Okay.
So just a family photo, old faded black and white.
I suppose that anything that I have, it would be something that I've acquired since coming to here.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe I've held on to, we'll say Priest has held on to a coin from the first time that he actually wanted a poker game against Tank.
There you go.
He doesn't win often, so. But I think that's what he presents.
Shelly has her dad's air service medal.
Mm.
Air medal, I guess it's called. Was awarded to him posthumously.
All right. And Will, what are you going to provide?
Will has a necklace that his girl back home gave to him that he holds on to with the idea that eventually this monster inside won't be around anymore and he'll be able to go back.
Mr. Arcane is going to provide what looks to be like a very small, very worn journal that he keeps in his back pocket. And something that none of you have ever seen him use. Okay, so let's see here. Will you basically just have kind of occult knowledge and know like true actual magics.
Oh, absolutely. And honestly, the occult knowledge he has is very scattershot on how accurate it's going to be,
Sure.
because it's all based on myths and legends.
Yep, yep. So I think Agatha and Arcane kind of actually lean into that just a little bit. And with the limited knowledge that you have, say, of um, New Haven, pretty much you are aware that it is rumored to exist somewhere in the Colorado Rockies, and it is a community of witches that essentially practice Wiccan style magics.
Mhm.
That's basically the extent of all that you know.
Yep.
Based on that, what do you think these talismans should provide the team?
What we're looking for is something that's going to protect us from kind of hostile external magic. And Will's working theory on magic right now is it's just another kind of energy. So if we can get something that will either absorb, disperse, or reflect incoming energy in some way, he feels like that's probably the most effective way that it'll be able to get addressed.
Arcane says, do you think this should be a ward or more of a shield?
I feel like a ward is definitely the way to go, because a shield is, if someone sees a shield, their inclination is to try to get around it or break it. A ward tends to be more personal and, I'm guessing, a little more subtle, less in your face.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to ask of you, Will. If you would make a reason feat
Okay.
at a +1 column shift.
Okay. So I am rolling on the amazing table. I will spend karma. Oh no.
Oh dear.
I'll move that to red.
I would imagine that Mr. Arcane would have at least called the karma as well. So retroactively, since he's not here, I'm calling karma for him because I'm the GM and I can do that.
That is true.
Can indeed do that.
How much do I owe on bumping it from 56 up to red on the amazing table?
Mm-hmm. That's going to be a 91.
Okay. So I owe 35. Okay.
Mr. Arcane, Agatha, and Will all gather around the table here in her study and grasp hands. And this little cube that's in the corner here, casting this kind of bluish light, begins to spin. The piano on the other end of the room begins to play a tune on its own. And this blue light begins to fill the entire area. You've got all of the personal belongings of the party on the table in front of you. And the swirling blue light begins to lift each of these items up off of the table, and they all are now swirling in kind of a counterclockwise motion about 2 feet up off of the table, just about eye level for the three of you. And Agatha lets go, and she raises her hands up in the air. Mr. Arcane follows, and Will looking at the two of them, it looks like this is what you're supposed to be doing. Both hands go up, and then you see her open and then shut to clap. And the three of you clap your hands, and a big burst of bluish light explodes in the middle of the table, and all of the talismans fall back down. And she says, "The job is complete. Now, my friends, I would suggest that you, like your companions, get some rest for tonight, for in the morning I shall open up a gateway. But first, I would like to discuss some things with your fellow companions before you leave for New Haven, or New Salem." And she kind of makes her way off into the kitchen and lets the two of you kind of make your way off to bed for the night. In the evening, as you guys are getting ready for bed, prior to all of this happening, was there anything that any of the rest of you wanted to discuss before turning in? I'll give you an opportunity to do that if you feel like you need to.
I'm gonna take every opportunity for sleep I can, because I know how rare such opportunities can be. And in character, while I'm unconscious, I'm also gonna go let the cat out.
I think that if there's a way to talk to Agatha while in the midst of doing things, I could see Priest asking if she has any small tones about precognition, that there's consideration that maybe with my own abilities and possibly abilities Johnny himself might have access to, we might need to be able to use those more adeptly.
If you, let's say that you catch her, like maybe you felt a bit peckish and kind of came down to the kitchen after all of this actually happened. And she says to you, "Your precognitive powers, I believe, are what has kept you awake this eve."
I thought it was my stomach.
The mind can play tricks on the body. Certainly you are welcome to a snack from my refrigerator, but there is a reason that you are here with me now in this moment. I and your companions have just finished our ritual in creating the protective measures for you and your party for your journey tomorrow. But I fear, as something deep inside you fears, there is danger on the horizon. And we know that there is danger in New Salem. I know there is danger in New Salem. That is something that I can somewhat prepare you for. But I have concerns. Come, let us sit by the fire.
All right.
And
Get
she
some small snack.
she walks you back into, I think it's the study where the fireplace is. No, it's actually in the observatory, this room right here. So she walks you into this room. She pulls a couple of chairs from the tables here, and the two of you have a nice little sit down in this little room here in front of the fire.
Sorry.
You are a new member to this merry little band, are you not? In the whole grand scheme of things.
Yeah, I'm not even really supposed to be a member of this, but I am now. Right? So
When did you join them? Was it before they began this quest for this Eden mechanism?
it was right as we're about to start on it.
Can you tell me, do you know, what is their intention to do with the pieces of this mechanism once they are all found? You have already discovered the vast majority of the pieces, and the Goddard coin is the final piece, is it not?
Yes,
What
and
what will you do with them?
I'm not entirely certain what we'll do once we have them all. I think that when we originally began the process of trying to pull these items together, it was with the possibility of trying to put them together. But over the course of time, it seems like that goal might have altered some. And I'm not certain if the group's ultimate intent will be to keep them apart, to use them as needed, or to try to unite them as one.
This is not your home.
No, not at all.
Why are you here?
Well, that's a very long story, but in a nutshell, there was I come from a future that well, humanity is on the verge of extinction, and we believed we had tracked down where that began or who that began with, and we're going to send someone back. My best friend, actually, uh, was going to come back here to try to keep that future from occurring, or at least create a future that it doesn't occur in. But before he was sent back, he died, and it was a split section decision. I had to take his place, and that's what brought me here.
And how do you prevent this? This
I mean,
future from happening?
I don't know if you can, but my personal belief is that the agents that cause it have themselves traveled back in time to try to basically restart the game in their favor and utilize resources now so that when they are ready to initiate their process of trying to bring us to extinction, they're in a better position to do that than they were originally.
Your precognitive powers. Have you relied on them to push you in the direction that you are currently in?
Yes.
Do you trust your visions?
Sometimes things are different than the visions that I have, but more often than not, if they're not exact, they're close enough that I feel like I can trust them to at least be guiding me as to something to be looking out for, if not always something to always act on exactly as I saw them.
Fate is what we make of it. Do you understand this?
I think I do.
Your premonitions are warnings in some cases, and in others they are a guide, a clue as to what should happen. But other times, what could happen. Do you know the difference?
Probably not as well as someone else who wasn't me.
I believe you sell yourself short.
Well, thanks.
They call you priest.
Mhm.
Why is this?
That's my last name.
And where did that name come from?
Well, that one I don't know the answer to. I mean, it came from my father's side of the family, but, you know, how far back it goes, I couldn't tell you, and whether or not it was, you know, a name that was associated with someone who was a priest, I couldn't tell you that either.
A priest is often considered a holy man. Now, I do not question whether or not you claim to believe in any type of God. But in your travels, especially in the last few months, I get the feeling that you believe that there are gods that walk among us, or at least a semblance of a god.
Yeah. Definitely things that people could see that way.
In most cases, a priest may be a holy man, and more often than not, a priest is considered a good man, at least in the eyes of his followers. Are you a good man?
I try to be.
Then trust in yourself and follow your own morality when making decisions based on the premonitions you have. And if you make decisions based on your morals, then whatever decision that you make is the fate that you create. Nothing is predetermined. Whether it should happen, whether it will happen, whether it won't happen, you essentially hold that key. You make the choice. Now, you also have to live with that choice. And therein lies the morality. Take my hands. And you feel a warmth immediately that comes out of the palms of her hand. She kind of clasps yours within her own. And she's got surprisingly large hands for such a frail-looking woman. Long and spindly fingers that wrap around yours. And that warmth immediately travels up your arm into your chest and into your face. Your face goes flush, and you can feel your brain beginning to go into that moment of seeing the future, the premonitions that have haunted you off and on throughout your life. And you basically see a replay of that major vision that you had that took place in a laboratory that you now firmly believe was Wakanda. Seeing Howard Stark, seeing the rest of your teammates outside of this room as a great portal began to open and figures began to appear, and panic was ready to set in. From this portal now, you see what comes out of it. And it is difficult to describe. It is a horde of human-like, mechanical, insectozoid creatures. And a shadow of something else looms behind. Something large and menacing, but still in shadow that you cannot quite make out. But there is a green hue to this creature, this being that is just beyond. From this, you see your future. And you see it shift. The landscape is essentially the same, but it shifts back and forth between apocalyptic to almost Edenistic. It's beautiful, and it's destroyed. And it's almost as though you're sitting in an optometrist chair and they're saying better one, better two, better one, better two. And it just flickers back and forth. Both of those realities exist. And it is what happens in the moment in the laboratory with the Eden mechanism, with Howard Stark. It is that moment that determines what that future is going to be. The outcome of whatever happens in that room determines your future.
Assuming the TVA doesn't kill us all.
I ain't even gotten to that yet.
I know, right?
And then with that, Agatha lets go of your hands. The vision subsides.
Kind of startles out of it. That's more than I'd seen before. Thank you.
Now, I believe I see why I asked that question of what is your intention. With the items, you still have the capability of making a decision as to whether you put it together and risk what we just saw in this vision. There are two outcomes if you bring the mechanism together. But what happens if you don't?
I mean, to be honest, with what I felt from what was inside that vision, I don't think that I would be jockeying to put it together. Regardless of what the future was, whether it was still the one that would come like I experienced or the beautiful one. You said I have to make my decisions based off of my own morality, and if that decision were to result in the destruction of where we are right now, or the imminent destruction of it, then I wouldn't really be doing justice to the world I came from by being willing to put this world through that a few, decades earlier. So I guess when everyone wakes up, I'll have to relay to them what I saw, since it's extra. Maybe have Arcane help just feed it out to everyone so that they can see it too.
Well, I would say sleep on it, but at this point I don't think either you or I are going to get much sleep tonight.
Do you play cards? 5-card stud?
Pinochle is more my speed.
I don't know that game.
I'll teach you. And you guys whittle away through the wee hours of the morning, learning the intricacies of Pinochle.
Now I'll have to learn Pinochle.
The hours kind of waste away, and those of you that were able to catch some Z's last night, you awaken to the smell of bacon and French toast coming from the kitchen. And she invites you all to come into the dining room together, which I'll pull everybody over in that particular direction. And she starts off kind of the conversation, suggesting that perhaps the good priest might have some information to share with the group. So you all heard at least, the vision and what it was that priest saw. So we certainly don't need to recap, the vision itself, but priest, I'm going to turn it over to you to kind of start a conversation here with the group, and see where that leads us.
Are y'all cool with me? Go ahead.
I'm eyeing the food slightly suspiciously. I'm thinking, eye of newt, tongue of frog, etc. But if it looks otherwise edible, well, eat while you can.
It sure smells good, I'll tell you that.
Does Tank say anything about Eye of Newt?
He's going to be, keep his thoughts to himself, but you do notice him sort of poking at the food a little bit, looking at it from various odd angles, then kind of shrugging and just, tearing into it like, there could be a, artillery incoming any second.
Soldier beats out over caution.
So I suppose that a priest would probably, so I guess this is a Pinochle and Prophecies, guys.
Weirdest D&D spinoff ever.
Last night, Agatha helped me to get a better fix on the vision that sort of spearheaded our original mission, and it makes me very worried about actually taking the items and putting them together. So I'll relay to you what information I encountered, and I'd like to hear your thoughts afterwards. So he goes through basically the spiel of telling all the vision that we covered earlier, and when he gets to the end, he's like, and that's why I don't think that we should put them all together once we have all the items. um,
I understand that you're from the future. I do. But I think you're from a possible future. And the concept that A plus B equals C just seems really kind of neat and tidy for my outlook on the universe. Almost like everything that we're going to do is already written and predestined. And if that's the case, then what's the point of actually doing anything? Because none of the decisions that we make matter.
well, I think that based off of my understanding of the vision, it was demonstrating that there were at least two possible futures that could occur from actually putting the things together. And then there's the future of not actually putting them together at all and the different possibilities associated with that. So I don't know if it's really pigeonholing that one thing has to happen over another, but it certainly is a cause for concern.
And Mr. Arcane kind of picks up with what you said, and he says, and that third possibility is essentially the unknown.
Well, according to Planck's theory, every possibility has infinite possibilities springing off of it. That whole quantum theory thing that they ended up talking about so much over at Princeton and Columbia. I'm sorry, I've gone way outside of your realm here. So basically what the thought is that every possible decision that every possible person makes has an infinite number of possibilities that spring off of it, and that somewhere within the quantum universe there exists a reality where that particular thing happened. So according to Planck's theory, and I know this is probably a little bit more real to you, Priest, than theories is, then both the possibility that you're talking about with the world where you came from has happened.
So there's a reality
happened.
where, I made out with Mary Kowalski after prom.
There's a reality where she jumped your bones, man.
Can we get there?
Theoretically, yes.
Huh.
I mean, I can, but theoretically.
But what you are speaking of, and this is arcane, what you're speaking of is something that people have philosophized about for many generations, and within my circles, we are only beginning to understand the true concept of, and that is the infinite multiverse.
I mean, yeah, but with math.
Now, let's take what we know is Priest has come back in time. And if we take that for face value, he came from our future.
A future.
If we're taking the multiverse into account, yes, a future. But isn't that our future if he is here with us right now?
But in the original version of that future, was he here to begin with, and does his presence in his past already affect change to what his future would be? It's the butterfly effect. Just by flapping wings, it could kick off a hurricane in Shanghai.
Yes.
Well, he didn't know he would hear before, so yeah, already.
Unless he was already here. That's also a possibility,
But he didn't know that.
but he wouldn't.
Right. 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 Okay.
So,
But him coming back to prevent the future
mhm,
that he was hoping to prevent,
right.
with him being here now and then refusing to do anything about it, then what was the point of coming back in the first place?
My other kind of question is if, and Priest, this may be something that's kind of pertinent to you. Um, if you stop the future that you come from happening, will that mean you cease to exist because the future that you came from never happened to begin with?
Yeah,
We're
that's
starting to
possible.
get into the concept of temporal paradox where things can get really kind of dangerous and weird. Now,
Just let me beat up some Nazis. I'll let you guys worry about all of this time stuff.
that's fair.
The wibbly wobbly, timey wimey stuff.
It got away from me in the middle.
I I kind of want to just bring this back to basics. We started out with the only plan, the only goal was to stop Hitler from getting a hold of stuff that would let him, for lack of a better word, don't take this the wrong way, hun, cheat with magic to win the war, in ways that we couldn't otherwise.
Some offense taken, but I'll let it slide.
So I don't think we should cheat either.
How do you mean?
I think we put these things away so they can't be used to mess with the world, and let people live their lives and work things out the way people live their lives and work things out.
I suppose I have to ask the question because I really haven't thought about it.
But
we've been gathering all of these pieces. Initially, we were asked by Howard, by the King of Wakanda, to gather them, bring them back so that we could put this thing together.
Mhm.
We have seen through Priest's vision what potentially could happen when or if we do put it together. So we know we're opening up a potential portal to somewhere else. Is this a future? Is it the past? Is it another planet? Is it another dimension? What is it? We don't know. We now know that there are some sort of mechanical insectozoid creature that comes spewing out of this, and we have seen and battled insectozoid creatures, at least some of us have before. Thank God it's not exactly that. And he's referencing, of course, the xenomorphs. Those of you that were a part of that battle through the vision, you can tell it is not the same, but something still pretty fierce. I understand, I think, what you mean when you say maybe we shouldn't cheat either.
I,
But
I
go ahead.
I've seen what the War Department's estimates are on the likely loss in life that's going to occur if we have to land troops on the Japanese mainland. Well over 1 million dead. I'm willing to cheat.
And I'm torn. We all saw Priest's vision. And we saw, for the first time with our own eyes, the future that he came from and the devastation that came along with whatever one bad action, whatever flap of a butterfly wing created that reality. If we succeed in doing whatever it is that needs to be done to prevent that reality from taking place, and we create this Eden, does the apocalypse cease to exist?
Well,
don't
hold
think-
on. This apocalypse from existing, then how would Priest come back to us to prevent the apocalypse from existing?
He wouldn't need to, because it never existed in the first place.
But what
Would
about all the
Priest-
other stuff he's done?
Right? Would Priest still be here?
Yeah, I mean, then he wouldn't have been here for all the things he's done that helped us get to the point where. Never mind. Do you got more of this stuff? This stuff's really good. Pointing to.
Okay, brings up a pertinent point. When you're dealing with a temporal paradox, there's no telling what the implications could be if something goes wrong. I'm not a physicist. I'm also not a master of the mystic arts. I have a cursory understanding of some of the theory behind it. But quite frankly, I was never a math guy, so I didn't really follow through on that.
Okay, then let me pose this question. If we succeed, if we choose not to do anything, we don't put the pieces of the puzzle together, we don't create this new Eden, do we deny what seems to be a perfect reality from existing?
And it's also a question of, are we at that point stopping Prometheus from stealing fire from the gods and giving it to mortals? It seems like it could be that big of a game changer. And I don't know that we have the right to make that decision by ourselves. Nobody elected us. Nobody chose us.
I have a dumb question.
Probably not. All questions are good in this case.
Do we know for sure that putting the thing together means the paradise future?
No.
No.
So could be the other way around.
Absolutely. It could have any potential outcome you can think of.
Okay.
We know nothing.
I suppose one other angle that we could try is just finding out more about them before we make a decision.
Absolutely. We need to have these things studied from every possible angle with every possible tool that we have.
Finding out
Whether
more about
we-
the individual pieces, you mean?
Yes.
No, their origin. No.
Whether we do the thing or not, I feel like Priest has given us really important information about what could happen, what might happen. so we can be on guard for that. We can look out for that. He's already made it. He's made a difference just
He
by
has, which
coming here.
he has, which has all sorts of interesting quantum reality repercussions that again, I'm not good enough at math. I don't know what they are, but I know that they're there. And then he stares at Priest real kind of weird, just.
So we have taken the items that we've collected so far and we've scattered them across the globe in secret locations that are not exactly the most well protected on Earth. It's a temporary solution, for sure.
Absolutely.
You said we turn them over and we make sure that they are studied within an inch of their lives so that we know where they came from, we know what the origins are, we know what they do, we know what their capabilities are, all of this. Now, we've seen some of the capabilities in action, so we know at least an element of that. But who do we turn them over to that we can trust enough to go, here you go? Because I'll be honest with you, after seeing the vision that we saw, I don't know that I trust Howard Stark or Azuri. They seem like nice people, and I'm sure that they have the best interests in mind.
Anyone you can keep them all separated and don't let any one person know where they all are.
It's possible. Oh, hold up. Are you all there?
Kind of already got it.
Everything kind of froze there for a second. Are you all still hearing me okay?
Yes. I can hear you just fine, yeah.
Okay.
Last thing I heard was the Ancient One.
I didn't say anything about the Ancient One.
No,
Jeff did.
Okay.
That was Shelley.
Someone else did.
I mean,
All right.
that's fine for the finger wiggling side of things, but that's not going to do anything for science. I think you're going to need a team of people, regardless of who does it. And I think it's going to need to
who's in
deal
charge
with.
of it.
I'm sorry?
Just more concerned with who's in charge of it. Who's making sure that somebody doesn't do something bad with it.
That's right, and we don't know that because who is in charge? Who do we trust that would be in charge of this, other than the Ancient?
That's why I said him, because he's the only person that I know of who's got that kind of power, but who's spent his life not using it to cheat.
But
he had the Darkhold taken from him. We had to go get it.
Not only that, if it is in fact scientifically based, nothing personal to the Ancient One, but I wouldn't trust him with an erector set.
Most of what I have been seeing, even though it has the ability, let's take the Baghdad battery, for instance. Obviously, it was powering arcane energies. But the source of that power, I don't believe was arcane.
I don't believe it was either. To me, it looked like it was physics. It was science. And honestly, who would I trust with that? Under supervision, I would trust Howard.
But we've seen the result of what Howard does.
Yes.
In this vision. So, based on that vision, I don't trust turning it over to him.
But did that vision take into account that we've seen that vision now? That we know that's something we need to look out for? Because once you start factoring in other variables into this particular equation, it changes the basis of the equation. It's no longer A plus B equals C. Now we have A plus B plus R equals C, because now we have that other piece of information that's being fed into it. The outcome is no longer assured as being the same thing.
Okay.
You guys are giving me a headache.
Good. That's my point.
I think Howard's a good man at his core.
Oh no, I don't think Howard's a good man. I think he is a scoundrel. Love him, but I think he's a scoundrel. However, I think in this case, as long as he is under the proper supervision, our supervision, as an example, it's something that we can probably work with.
Scoundrels can be good.
Okay, devil's advocate. What if, 3 weeks ago, when we started this whole run of chasing down the pieces of the Eden mechanism, what if we just decided we're not going to do it?
I don't know about you guys, but if I decide I don't want to do something, they put me, in lockup. You don't get to say no, whether it's peel potatoes or fight demons to recover ancient Nazi artifacts.
Okay, then let's do this. Let's put it this way. Let's say we went to Rome after the dodecahedron, and in the Colosseum, facing off against the Zodiac, they defeated us, they slaughtered us, they killed us. We lose. What happens then?
Well, I think it depends on if I got the confession in time and, how it all works out upstairs.
I feel like you're in Rome, man. I feel like if that doesn't give you a pass.
You got a point there.
But in all honesty, if all we're concerned about is making sure that the other side doesn't end up with these items, we've accomplished that. We don't need to do anything else. Why are we doing anything else if we just don't want them to get put together?
But why, if the end doesn't matter, then why do we do anything? If whatever happens, it doesn't matter what we do, we're always creating infinite possibilities, then there's no reason to really do anything because everything's going to happen anyway.
Right, but that's not the anything that you're experiencing. You're only going through one thread through all the infinite possibilities. And possibilities become less and less likely. So my question isn't so much whether or not it's possible that the apocalypse can happen, because the apocalypse can always happen. Honestly, I'm probably just as much of a danger of causing the apocalypse as anything in the world right now.
It's like this. You're going along the street, you see a little old lady crossing the street, and there's a bus coming onto her she don't see. You can either run and grab her, knock her out of the way, or you can stand there and think, well, there's a dozen other people standing around. One of them's going to do it. Why should I do it? And it ends up none of them do it, and she gets splatted. So I say, we're here, we can do it. Let's do it. Waiting around for someone else to do it, or saying, well, it doesn't matter if we don't do it because some other us has done it. We're the others. We're the ones who are going to get it done.
So I think the point I'm trying to get across is, if our only concern is making sure the Nazis don't get these items put back together, we have no need to get the Goddard.
I think the problem is that the items are dangerous in and of themselves. And they said there was how many more of the stones?
Oh, lots.
And they're
the Drapa stones.
Yeah. They're powerful themselves too, aren't they?
They are.
They are.
But not like the Eden device.
Not like these pieces. I just think I think we probably can't leave that out there. Certainly not. I mean, based on what Agatha has said about what he plans on doing eventually.
Make no mistake. I think we should, because I think we should get them on. I think they should all be put together eventually. But my bit of devil's advocacy is that if we don't intend to, then what are we even doing?
So
getting them safe.
Priest, you've listened to all of us talk. What do you want to do?
Well, I think we should definitely get the coin, if for no other reason than it sounds like it's perhaps in hands that might not use it as wisely as others could use it if it was going to be put to use.
Okay, let me ask another question. Can we just destroy it? If it's too powerful for anyone to own, we get all the pieces together and we just kind of, smash them to little bits.
There is always a danger in dealing with items of unknown origin, whether they be magical, whether they be extraterrestrial, whether they be mechanical.
It could blow up.
It could blow up. Simply, yes. Thank you, Will. It could blow up. And it could be bad.
Yeah, I feel like we got to finish what we're doing. I feel like we got to do the reclaiming. It's in the name, after all.
I agree. I think we need to do the reclaiming. I also think that under very controlled circumstances, we need to see this through, and that includes putting this device together.
Why? I'm curious. Is it just your curiosity that makes you want to put it together?
Absolutely not.
Why do you think it needs to go together?
Because each individual item is an item of incredible power and has had the capacity to change things around them substantially. Can you imagine the good that it could do for humanity if it can provide, like, even just the drop stones themselves, clean, limitless power for everyone on the planet? Do you know what a game changer that would be?
I suppose.
I'd say let's get the artifacts first, and then we can discuss what to do with them.
Sure.
It's not a bad idea to start the conversation now, though, because I have a feeling there's going to be some serious discussions when it comes time.
And Mr. Arcane says, I'm just afraid that if we get it, and we don't know what we're doing with it, we're not going to have the time to make that decision when the time slaps us in the face.
Well, if we don't prepare, you're right. If we're going to put it together and we don't prepare, I mean, the pieces are spread all over everywhere.
And we're going to have to find somewhere else to put them. This was our temporary solution when we thought we were bringing everything together. But now, I'm not so sure that we should. I hate to disagree with you, Will, but I'm not so sure that that's the right decision. And that's why I'm asking Priest, because of the conversation that he and Agatha, who, in my opinion, in what little I've seen of her abilities, her reputation certainly precedes her, and she is one of the more powerful magicians that I have met, with the exception of the Ancient One. More powerful, I believe, than even my own mentor. She has told Priest that it is his morality that he should follow in deciding this. And I hate to lay it on him, but I feel like you are the key. You are the one that was sent here, that came here, because he felt like he had to. Like there was something that he had to do to fix his future.
Yeah.
And you're here because you're a hero of your time. And whatever it is that you decide is going to affect your future in some way.
No pressure.
Well, I say right now we just go get the damn coin.
Yeah.
Hey, I used a modern curse word.
Yeah, when we get it, maybe we'll just flip it to decide and let whatever mystic fate thingies there are guide our decision.
I'm I'm not entirely certain what would happen if we flipped a magical coin.
Yeah, whatever you do, don't flip the coin. Mr. Arcane says, don't flip the coin. Don't flip the coin.
Don't flip the goddamn coin. Got it.
All right.
Good.
Against my better judgment, we'll get the coin, but we're going to have to make some decisions very quickly, I think, once we get it in hand.
Are you sensing something?
No, I'm just very worried. We're very close to the end, and we don't have a plan.
Well, I mean, anybody else know that we have gathered all the pieces?
Someone always knows.
That one guy, Strucker, I wonder if he's still under wraps.
Yeah, we left him in the Dark Force dimension, so hopefully he's still there.
You don't get much more under wraps
Well,
than that, honestly.
I thought we gave him to Peggy.
He went to Peggy.
Oh, that's right. He did go to Peggy. Didn't
Oh,
he?
that's right.
Yeah,
It was
thanks.
the undead guy, the
Mhm.
ghost guy. He went to the Dark Force dimension.
Yeah, him we left there.
And there's also that high evolutionary fellow who's already looking for all of these things.
I didn't put him
So-
in the Dark Force dimension.
Yeah, I don't
No.
think he knew about the big picture, did he?
He was after the drop of stones.
Yeah.
He wasn't after the
Okay.
pieces.
Yeah, I don't think he know. He probably figured out pretty quick, but I don't think he knew yet. He's locked up in Wakanda, right?
No, he left.
Oh, that's right. He left.
I think he left his armor behind, but yeah, he decided he wasn't staying, so he left.
Oh yeah.
Because that's what happens when you're the high evolutionary.
Okay. Yeah.
So I guess with that, what's our next step for going to New Salem?
Well,
Agatha makes us a door.
yeah, Agatha says that she will begin the preparations to send you to New Salem. And she says that I warned you last night to beware of the Salem Seven. Now, these are the children of my son, I suppose my grandchildren, that I am telling you to beware of. They are the direct result of my family's magical bloodline. These talismans that we have created for each of you will help protect you from the magics of New Salem. And this includes the magics of the Salem Seven. However, you must understand that while they have access to magic, some of their abilities are magically induced from birth. They are essentially a magical mutant of a sort. So these abilities, these inherent abilities that my grandchildren possess, these talismans may not protect you. You must rely on your abilities, your armors, your wits to protect yourselves from their natural abilities.
Are they mostly regular people other than magic-y skills?
The Salem Seven, no. Because they have been changed and mutated by the magics that were infused into the birth mothers at the time of their conception. So they are something more. What you should be aware of is the rest of the citizens of New Salem. For all of them are knowledgeable in the practices of Wiccan magic. Which is why I say perhaps it might be best for you, once you arrive, just to simply give up. Knowing the temperament of my son and what he thinks of himself and what the Salem Seven think of him, you would be brought under his purview, which would get you closer to him than it would be if you came in, how do they say it these days, guns blazing?
So if we just show up acting like we're lost tourists, that'll work better?
I believe so.
Okay.
Missed that last turn at Albuquerque.
I know, right?
But they will know that you are not lost. So acting as though you are lost is not going to help.
Right.
The only way for you to arrive in New Salem is by magic. And there's only one among you that has true magics. And
So he's the one that made the wrong left turn?
perhaps given enough time, he might be able to open the doors.
Will they be able to tell it was you who opened the door?
Sadly, it is possible. If I were to place you directly into my son's chambers or his palace, yes. But I plan to drop you somewhere that I believe would be more safe. But anywhere I drop you, you will be discovered.
Why is this starting to sound more dangerous than us walking right into the heart of Nazi-occupied Paris?
Because it is.
Because it is.
Are we up for leave yet, Tank?
Not yet. Not yet.
I gotta talk to Peggy about that. I think I'm overdue for some leave.
Yeah, just a weekend pass would be nice.
Well, maybe after this.
Filler episode.
All right, so if there's no further discussion, Agatha walks you guys out to the front lawn and then spreads out a circle made of baker's flour and then draws a pentagram in the middle of that and says a few magic words, and then it begins to glow green.
I didn't know you could do that.
All you need to do is step within the circle, and I will wipe away a portion of the flour, and that will send you on your way.
Okay. I assume that we've grabbed our little talismans,
Sure,
our little
yeah.
wards.
So the talismans are going to provide you an extra 15 points of soaking towards any magical damage that would be coming your way.
Okay, so
And-
reduces magical damage by 15.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Tank, if you recall, don't forget, I think we actually have kind of forgotten that you had this, but you have a talisman already that was given to you way back in Egypt. Do you remember that?
I remember that. I thought it was a temporary thing for that scenario, that it wasn't really something permanent I should put on my character sheet.
Oh, it's on your character sheet.
Oh, well, there you go.
And so, yeah, you do still have that. So
Excellent.
you would have 25 including the Glyptodon amulet that you have now with the picture in your pocket, gives you an extra 15, so you've got a total of 25 against magical attacks.
Woohoo.
And then I think,
Sorry,
Priest,
I will
did you
try to
have
remember
something
that.
too, or no?
No, I don't think that I have anything extra for magical.
Okay.
Well,
Step on
Shelley,
into
look
the
up.
circle.
Bobby flies down, lands on her shoulder. I hope this goes better than I think it's gonna go.
And with that, Agatha reaches down, grabs some of the flour, breaking the seal, and blows in the direction of the party, and you all dissipate and then appear in New Salem. And I think if you guys would be willing, let's take a little breather. I'm going to take a little potty break and grab a drink, and then we'll meet back in New Salem here in about 5 to 7 minutes.
Sounds good to me.
Okey-dokey.
Alrighty.
We'll be back shortly.
Dreamslayer Studios presents a wide selection of live tabletop role-playing game campaigns, specializing in fresh new independent games like Tales from the Loop and the Great American Novel, as well as traditional games such as the original Marvel Superheroes RPG by TSR and Savage Worlds. Our game master works hand in hand with the players to create one-of-a-kind original stories that are jam-packed with intense battles and in-depth character development that rely on creative and collaborative communal storytelling. So, if you're in the mood for something a little different than the typical Dungeons & Dragons fan, look no further than Dreamslayer Studios' RPG podcast. Available on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and anywhere you consume your live play RPGs.
New Salem stands before you as an archaic monument from another time, peopled with a strange, inhuman population whose existence on Earth is known only to a select few. It is a refuge for the strange and powerful. Those who fled from Old Salem, hundreds of years in the past, when the hunting of witches was considered sport and the murder of warlocks was a solemn duty. The town is a masterpiece of Gothic architecture with great spires that reach towards the heavens, buildings guarded by ancient gargoyles, gaslit street lamps, and pits of fire peppering the sidewalk, providing warmth. The townsfolk are dressed in garments that stretch through eras of fashion, through time itself. Some appear as though they walked out of the Renaissance or the courts of Avalon, while others wear classic Victorian garb or the robes akin to the early American settlers. All of which have an oddly modern twist, however. Peering in the distance over the town is a large bust of a demonic-looking creature with a gaping maw that appears to be an entrance to a cave on the side of the tallest mountain in the region. Where you have manifested through the magics of Agatha Harkness is kind of in a slightly wooded area just outside the gates. Now, the interesting thing here is directly behind you is a wall of rock and an inclimbable mountain that almost kind of scoops in. It's kind of like convex, you know, where it's almost like this mountainscape, these cliffs are actually kind of protecting the city. And looking up to the sky, it's daytime, but you can see stars. And you can see like celestial bodies and almost like kind of like a band of energy that kind of flows up through space. And you recognize what seem to be constellations that, register with you, that you can recall from the night sky on Earth. But they're in a slightly different angle. And they appear to be somewhat closer, somewhat bigger. Here in this clearing outside the gate, there are a couple of families and citizens that are just out enjoying the day outside the walls of the city. 2 families of 3 and then 2 men off to another side, each of them having a picnic or laying out sunning themselves. It's a beautiful warm summer day here. Up towards the gate there stand 3 rather burly looking guards, and you all now have just manifested out of thin air. It's not uncommon that people just manifest out of thin air here in New Salem. So at first, the individuals here out in the clearing don't really take too much notice of you. But as the moments pass, they begin to kind of look in your direction, and then they start whispering to one another. And you can see them now looking a little bit uneasy, just within the first, 20 seconds of your arrival. What do you guys want to do?
I will wait and see what my compatriots do.
I think Shelly will tighten her coat around her and stand next to Mr. Arcane.
A new priest
Since-
does not start as cannons.
So a bunch of people are just kind of staring at us.
Yeah, whispering and kind of there's like.
Sorry, I was muted.
What?
I'm in human form right now, and I am going to basically, work with the Romani. I will, just sort of walk forward casually, not looking offensive and smiling, just kind of wave, hey guys, how things going, and follow the path. Up to the gate
I'll follow Tank.
until someone stops me.
If someone tries to stop us, I'll smile at them and ask them if they want to buy Girl Scout cookies.
Tank, why don't you make a intuition roll, please?
I'll spend some karma on that. Hold on, this is the first time we've had to roll all game. I need to get my character sheet up. Intuition. Yeah, I'm spending karma. Yeah. Let's see. I have the chart up here somewhere. So good. Get that up to a green. 46. 32. 42. I need to spend 14 points of karma to bring it up to a 46.
Okay. All right, so you start making your way up the path here. These 2 individuals, the 2 men here, they both had like a couple of blankets laid out, and they were out there kind of sunning themselves, both of them, and they look like a pair of old-timey swimmers, like from the 1910s, with the striped swimsuits,
Balloons.
Yeah.
and they both kind of get up on their feet and kind of back up towards the tree line up in here as you're making that approach. They certainly now feel a bit nervous, and you can see little bluish sparks kind of glowing at their fingertips.
I smile as disarmingly as I can and just walk past them without, like, doing the I'm keeping an eye on you thing or anything to indicate that I feel they are a threat or otherwise, that I have any hostile intentions towards them.
Mm-hmm.
Is anyone following me? Because I'm suddenly realizing, I'm the only guy walking on this, path into the jungle where, there's, enemy encampments everywhere.
I will follow you.
I mean, you kind of like made the call, did the thing, so it's like, all right, well, I guess we're doing this. So,
oh, we were clearly visible. We could have just stood there milling around, looking suspicious while they got ready, or we can.
I think it was the right move. Yeah, Shelly is coming up behind you.
And as you guys are making that approach, the family here that was sitting, kind of having a little picnic here in the clearing, the gentleman, the father, if you will, stands and kind of takes a few steps backwards, keeping his eye on your group. And he says, Guards! Guards! Outlanders! Outlanders!
Oh God, where?
But look around, huh?
And these three individuals come to the edge of the steps here. And the one in the lead here is carrying like a long staff with kind of a hooked end to it, which glows with a little bit of an orange kind of light at the end. And he says, Halt! Halt where you are! What brings you to New Salem?
Would you believe it if we told you the L?
I do not know what an L is. And one of the other guys behind him says, I think it's a letter.
And we're just
He says,
we're just kind of passing through. You guys got a place we can just get a quick dinner here? Maybe a drink?
no
A
one
diner
just
a
passes
diner would be
through
amazing.
New Salem.
Oh, it's more of a destination kind of place?
How did you come to arrive here?
The L.
I'm telling you, I do not know what an L is. It's a letter. That's not what he's saying. I believe he is saying...
You know what? You don't know what it is. I could be saying it's a letter.
Yeah.
Is it a
Mighty
letter?
are the ways of L.
I don't believe it is a letter.
No, L really is a letter.
But you cannot take a letter here.
Have you tried?
M must be before M.
I know L is before M.
I'm
I
making a
speak
psyche
English.
feat for Bombshell.
Well, whatever that was, it failed.
Oh, Shelly just bursts out laughing. It's
Well-
not often that somebody else gets to be the dumb one, and that she gets to be in on the joke.
Now we just to be sure, we just clearly materialized out of thin air in front of them, or back here. We were visibly not here, and then we were there. We didn't have any illusion of walking down the path or anything. We actually poofed into existence. Correct?
Yes.
And it ends in just like a
Yeah.
rock wall right behind where we were, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I think you'd understand, being the kind of town this is, we got here by, and I kind of do Houdini gestures. I don't want to go into too many details. It's all kind of hush-hush, but I think you can figure out where the kind of people that belong here. Look how we got here, right?
What he's trying to say is a magician never reveals his tricks.
Exactly.
You
But
may
we
not
don't
have
have
to
any-
reveal your tricks, but you do have to reveal your purpose here. No one comes unannounced, and you are unannounced.
You did.
Oh,
You weren't
Then we're
listed.
not here.
yeah, I'm Jake. So here's I'm announcing myself here.
Martha.
Shelley?
I don't care who you are now. You are not
Well, you
supposed to
told
be
us
here.
to announce
yeah.
ourselves.
We're announcing.
You're gonna give this poor guy an aneurysm.
Could
Look,
be
if
worse.
if we wanted to do something bad, would we just wander out here, wave at you, and walk straight forward in the middle of things? No. We'd be skulking around the trees and stuff, peeking out from behind the bushes, or maybe we'd just be turning ourselves invisible.
Yep, like those
But
guys
wait-
over there.
Yeah.
That's an excellent example.
Yeah, but we're not. So isn't it clear that we're just, here minding our own business and just kind of want to look around a bit, maybe grab something to eat,
Meeting the neighbors.
taking the sights? You
Right.
got any museums or tourist attractions? Maybe a little antique store or something?
So this guy that has been saying that L is a letter kind of comes
knows.
up to what appears to be the commanding officer, and he says, "Sir, what do we do? Citizens, clear a path." And the folks out here kind of move off a bit to the sides. And this guy begins to march down into the clearing. He takes about 5 steps out, and then the other 2 guys are still standing back there, and he stops and he turns and he's like, and they very quickly follow pace.
Is Indy with us?
Yes, Indy's with you.
Oh, he
yeah.
is? Okay.
Mhm. And then they come out with him to about this location. He says, "Since we were not prepared to meet you here today, you will come with us, and you will announce yourself to our leader."
You just said it
Only
was too
fair.
late to announce ourselves.
What did you
They're,
say?
You just said it was too late to announce ourselves.
they're giving us a second chance to do the announcement thing. I think that's very friendly of them.
How do you announce yourself when you're already someplace, though? That's kind of weird.
It's like, what I've heard they do fancy people, like when they have them big fancy private dances. Everyone goes in and it's like some guy reads off a card, Mr. and Mrs. Snurdy
Oh,
Waffle,
Okay.
presenting, and so forth. That kind of thing.
I have had enough of this. Sleep. And he waves his hand in your all's direction. Got a 53 on the excellent table. Everybody needs to roll a psyche feat, please.
Okay.
This does not include resist domination, correct?
I think Sparta needed to leave the room for some purpose.
It
so
does, yes.
I was gonna say
It's
resist domination helps.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
What attribute are we rolling?
Psyche.
Psyche, huh? I am definitely spending karma on that.
Here's the thing. He really didn't want Will to go to sleep.
I mean, he don't know no better.
He don't.
And Tank, you were calling karma?
I absolutely am. I just need to figure out how much I need to bring that up to a lot. Okay, wow, 30 points. Yeah, I'll just take 30. That'll do
Will
it.
was like, oh no.
And
we are not doing that.
I will roll for Spartan, who will also be spending karma.
I feel like this visit would go in a substantially different direction if that spell worked.
And I'll spend the 10, I guess. How much do I need to get that up to a red result in case it's one of those things that you really need a good result for?
76.
Remarkable 76. It would be
95.
Yeah, be 20. I'll just spend the 10 minimum. I think if a yellow result isn't good enough, we're screwed.
I spent no karma, so that fierce night of pinochle playing has gotten to me.
Caught up to you.
Yep.
So the one guy that didn't say anything through all of that banter is like,
He was snoozing already.
Mr. Chatterbox here goes back up to the commanding officer and he says, "Sir, only one of them went down. What do we do now? Will you shut up?"
But sleep sounds like a good idea. You guys got a hotel?
Just come along.
Shelly will scoop up Priest.
Thanks.
I think Priest was the one who went down. Hi, Boosty. I forgot you were wearing headphones and could hear the whole conversation.
So they now are kind of leading you through New Salem proper. And you guys enter into the main streets of the city going through the gate. And these are labyrinthine streets and alleys, and it's almost like entering a city that was created by MC Escher. And up is down and right is left and sideways is straight, and I mean it's crazy and incredibly disorienting. And as you're moving through, it's almost like moving through different eras of time. Mostly all cobblestone street for the most part, but at times you feel like you're walking through the streets of Whitechapel, which some of you have been recently. At other times it's like walking through Prague, and other times through the streets of Moscow. I mean, there's no real clear delineation here between one area and the other. They just kind of morph into these different lands as you guys kind of go through. It's all very beautiful and disturbing, all in the same breath. Eventually, they bring you to a trail that leads up towards that gaping maw of a cavern or temple, whatever that was that you saw up on the side of the mountain. And I will bring you there so you can kind of see that. And they're kind of leading you down this path. Let's see if everybody's there. There we go. Kind of leading you down this path. The rock formations now have kind of turned an almost kind of pale pinkish color, kind of mixed with like deeper purples and oranges. Very unnatural, like no rock formation that you've ever seen before, and it looks like this area has been carved almost by hand. And it has a look and feel almost like an Aztec or Egyptian kind of temple grounds. Primitive in some ways, but advanced in others. So they begin now kind of walking you down through a narrow passageway that kind of runs alongside the opening to this cave, and bring you over into this area here. And I'll kind of spread you guys out a little bit here once I get you in that area, because I wasn't really sure how you guys were going to get here. So here we are.
I mean, aggravate the townsfolk was not on your bingo card.
Is this rock here supposed to kind of look like a grinning skull?
Yes.
Or am I just...
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if I was like having a Rorschach test or not.
It is whatever you feel like it is.
Is Indy here?
Yeah.
Indy's with you, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't realize he was with us from Agatha.
Yeah. Yep, he
Oh,
came
wow.
along.
Okay.
He's not going to miss out on the Goddard coin. Come on.
Then good point.
Belongs in a museum.
Oh, we have to take him to Wakanda with us.
So you see now in front of you a rather ragtag bunch of individuals. Starting right in front of you, you have this female that has green, scaly skin and two quote-unquote arms that are actually serpents.
Hmm.
Okay, she's off the hug list.
After that, up on a ridge on one of the cliffs up here, or boulders, I guess I should probably say, is an individual that looks basically kind of like an android or robot. It has kind of a slit where his eyes should be. And is made looks to be made out of like a shiny metal. On the bridge in front of you is a large hulking kind of yellow jaundiced creature that is somewhat kind of like a minotaur of a sort with little kind of stubby horns on his head and a orange mane of hair.
Hank is kind of, without looking like he's sizing him up because he's like, yep, there's the big dude. That's the one I fight.
There's my guy. Over on this other ledge that kind of looks like it's looking over like a little waterfall area right in here. This guy. Another kind of yellow-skinned individual with red, pointy thorns growing out of his flesh. Also on the bridge is another kind of green, scaly individual with a feathery mohawk and one hand that is missing and has been replaced with some sort of metallic contraption. To his left is an African-American woman wearing a white robe. And then to the right is a female wearing a skin-tight red uniform, long black hair, and kind of a golden crown. Behind her is Agatha Harkness's son, Nicolas Scratch, obviously the man in charge, and you can see a bit of a family resemblance as his hair is beginning to turn the same white of his mother's. And he speaks. Outlanders, you dare set foot on this sacred ground. Your kind are not welcome here. I know not how you came to this city, but I can smell the scent of ancient magic on you. The old witch is behind your trespassing, isn't she? Tell me, what brings you to New Salem?
Well, Shelley just looks at the rest of them. We're gonna need that coin.
Ah, of course. The Goddard coin. Those fool archaeologists had no earthly clue just how valuable this coin is, and he manifests it in his fingers, and he begins to flip it in between as he speaks.
Stern was very specific about no flipping that coin.
Yeah, I'm about to say, how come he gets to flip it?
Don't flip that coin!
My God, man!
Do you understand what tails means?
This coin is a key. A key to other dimensions and to the outer reaches of space and time itself. And now that you are here, trespassing on this great land, you will see the total of the power this key possesses. And he begins an incantation.
Nope, nope, no, no,
Nope.
can't have that.
Okay.
O fates
nope,
and
nope, nope.
fires that be,
I would like to
heed
put
my
a Dark Force
cries.
gag in his mouth.
Okay,
I
go
would
for it.
I would like to tank on.
All right.
I would like to rage. Wait, nope, sorry.
I suppose now shall be the time for the rolling of the initiatives.
Yep.
I guess I need to activate that. Give me just a second here. We'll get you.
Let's say I don't seem to be able to do that at the moment.
Ooh, it doesn't exist yet. There we go.
There we go.
I'm up there somewhere.
Okay, initiative.
Hey, there I am. Hey, that's good.
Spartan has a +2. I have a +0.
I have a +1.
Yeah, I'm going to take a few of these off that I don't need because I don't
So-
think I need Raven or Bobby.
Spartan should be up to 7, and I am right where I am.
Where's Bobby at? Oh, there's Bobby.
Yeah, well, you might not be fast, buddy, but you always get there.
That is true.
All right, Mr. Arcane has a +3. Will, you've got a plus what?
+1.
Bombshell's a plus
Um,
2.
nothing right now. She doesn't have the sword out.
Oh, okay. Spartan.
Plus
Oh, I missed that. Sorry.
+2.
+2. Priest.
+3 because my cannons are not out.
Okay. And Tanker. Are you +1 tank?
I am +0.
Oh, +0. Okay. All right. Now I guess I got to roll for Indy. Let's do Indy. Let's see what kind of plus he's got. He's got a +2. All right, now the rest of these fuckers. 3. That's a lot of rolling. He only gets +1. All right. So, at the top of the round is Mr. Arcane. So, we know what everybody's kind of wanting to do, which is to shut him the fuck up. Mr. Arcane, sensing with the flipping of this coin in his fingers that he is trying to manipulate that, it's a metal coin.
Oh, yeah?
He's going to yoink that sucker, hopefully right out of his fingers. And this, I'm sure Johnny would want to call karma on that.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say.
Ooh, good thing. Oh, wait, there we go. 65. So that's not too bad. So we can get that up to a yellow. By spending 10 karma points. So that'll do. All right, so
Nice.
I'm going to have old Nick make a strength check to see if he can hold on to it. Got a green, which is not good enough. So it flies out of his fingers and is now being caught by Mr. Arcane. So we have the Goddard coin. That was easy. Indy,
Okay, now we just leave, right?
apparently goes next.
Oh crap! We didn't talk about
And
how we get back.
he takes 2 steps forward, not really thinking, and then he takes one look at Reptilla and he goes, snakes.
Snakes.
Why did it have to be snakes? And he corrects that whip. Let's see here.
That was pretty perfect, by the way.
Thank you.
That was really actually a little disturbingly good.
I did not plan it. Believe it or not, I did not plan that. Let's see. So, what does he roll? That's going to be a fighting feat, which is going to be on the remarkable column for him, 49. And he smacks her with the whip. And she has... Okay, cool. Cool.
I was supposed to say, wow, that whip is really painful.
I had neglected for some reason to put her actual health in the thing, so I had to kind of backtrack and put that in there. I hope it did. I got everybody else, it looks like. For some reason, I just missed her. All right, so hits her with the whip, does a little bit of damage, and then it comes to Will at this point. And I think you were saying something about putting a little Dark Force muzzle.
I'm going to put a Dark Force gag in Nicolas Scratch's mouth because if D&D taught me anything, it's don't let the wizards do verbal components. I'll spend karma. Doot. Nope, that's not him. That's him. Doot. Well, that'll
Nice.
do.
Oh, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's a red.
I'll spend that 10 karma.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay. All right, so you hit him with the muzzle, and his eyes grow big, and like he's reaching out now for the coin. He can't speak, and he realizes now, I think, that he's in trouble. Reptilla now lashes out at Indy with one of her snake hands.
He's not going to like that.
Gets 41 to hit. He hasn't decided whether he's dodging or evading, but now he's evading. So
snakes.
Yeah, because snakes. Oh, that's good. So it's a -4, which I think actually is an evade for him. So she was on the incredible at 41. Yes, he dodges out of the way. And kind of ducks back behind Mr. Arcane. Maybe not the best human shield. But
no.
at least gets him away from the snake lady. Bombshell.
She's carrying Priest, so she drops, or she was. I guess we could say he wakes up at this point, or she wakes him up. Drops.
He's awake. Sorry,
okay.
He's awake by this point.
Okay,
That was only a couple of rounds that he was out. So,
okay, cool. All right.
I'd
So then I don't have to worry about that. Cool. So yeah, she's gonna walk out here, and is this would you say that all 4 of these people are within an area?
Oh, I would say so. Yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're gonna get the thunderclap treatment.
Oh boy.
So she extends her hand. Little global lightning zips down there to here, and then boom. And they all have to make a thing. But first I need to roll to hit, even though it's an area attack. And I will karma this.
You got to get that up to green.
Yeah.
On the remarkable, you got to get it up to a 36.
So 25. Ouchies, that was expensive. Well, the Scratch ain't stunned.
Several of them were attempting to dodge that.
Oh, they also take damage if they
right,
don't.
if they don't dodge, yeah. So, how much damage does that do?
Only 20.
Okay.
20 damage and excellent stun.
Okay, so she's fine. Vertigo was the one that takes the 20. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, she does. Alright. Hydron kind of dodges forward. Gazelle bounds off of this edge right here and is preparing to go elsewhere, but we'll get there here shortly. So, Spartan, it comes to you.
Nick doesn't take any damage?
Oh, no, Nick does not.
Cool.
Sorry, my headphones keep coming off. Yeah, where am I?
Kind of just above Indiana Jones. And sort of down and to the left of Tank.
There I am. Okay, I run toward Lady on the ledger. And I throw my spear, trying to irate her.
And who are you aiming at?
Vacuum, I believe.
This guy up here? Okay.
Yeah. And I'm gonna call Karm on that.
Okay. Let me just double check on what your throwing a spear is. You're at amazing, so click on that and I'll work out any karma that might be needed.
92. So
Ooh.
that'd be 102. Oh no, wait, sorry. I for some reason my thing isn't catching up. So 73.
Yeah, with karma. Let's see what it takes to get that to a red.
Yeah. And that's on the amazing, so that would be a 91.
Yeah, we can spend 10 and keep it yellow, or almost about 20 and make it a red. What do you want to do?
Let's make it red.
Okay.
I need to hurt someone today.
Oh, I know those kinds of days. Yes. When we played D&D back in San Francisco, Beth would sometimes walk in after work and say, I need to kill something.
Oh, dear.
All right, so you throw the spear, and you see his body flicker ever so slightly, and the spear goes through him. You do some damage, but it didn't do the full amount. However, it was a red result, so you went through his heart when that happened.
Ooh.
Cool.
So we're going to roll for an endurance. You got a 56. He is stunned for 1 round.
It's better than a sharp stick in the eye.
Yeah.
Or the
Or the heart.
Yeah, good point. Yes.
All right. Nicolas Scratch goes. At this point, he can't say anything. He's lost the coin. He turns around and he hits something on this sculpture behind him. And you begin to see this gaping maw of this visage of this creature carved into the rock begin to shudder and move up. It's opening up a gateway or a door.
Okay, so it's not like it's turning into a living giant creature. It's just doing an opening,
Yeah.
portal of doom. Okay.
Priest.
I'll go ahead and roll for multiple actions. I'll use karma on that. I'll just spend the 10 because that'll get me up to 3.
Okay.
I'll put my shield up and bring my cannons out. Do my cannons have like summoning sickness where I can't use them if they come out in the same round, or are they active as soon as they come out?
I don't think we've played it that way before, so I think they've been active for you.
Okay, cool. Then I think I will. I'll hold on to my last action and my actions with the cannons and do those later in the round.
Okay. All right, Bruticus. Tank, are you tanked on yet?
I tanked on as soon as he started chanting.
Gotcha.
Apparently, Bruticus had the same idea as Tank. Like, oh, there's the big guy.
There's my guy.
Game, recognize game.
He jumps from his position over this rock and is coming crashing down on you, Tank. Got a 34 to hit.
I haven't had my initiative come up yet, so I can't have put into a dodge or an evade or
No,
whatever it is.
You can do that at any point. All you got to do is just tell me what you want to do. But once you do, you stick with it unless you spend karma to switch to the other.
Well, let's see just how hard this guy can hit.
All right.
I'm gonna just save my action
Gotta
for
soak
right
it.
now.
All right. So
You might say I'm going to tank it.
let me see how many areas he. Well, let's see. He went up as
Oh,
well. So
yeah.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I wasn't thinking about
2,
that.
3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's about a 3 area. Okay. So that's on the amazing. So that would be 150 points of damage.
Oh my
Holy!
god!
Well, taking out the 50 that I have from my armor, actually no, my armor is still only incredible. So,
I don't suppose that's a magical attack, is it?
It is unfortunately not.
I should have dodged. Yeah, so, okay, so that's 40, 110. I'm at 8.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Cleric!
Answer. The question has been answered. Now we know how hard he hits.
I go ahead and I'm gonna do.
Actually, I
I'm
think I
assuming
have
this dude looks
backwards.
armored, right? Like he looks like he's got armored skin, probably.
That dude, the yellow guy.
Yeah, the guy who just did all that damage.
He doesn't look like he's got armored skin. It just looks yellow.
Oh, okay. All right. Then I won't do that then. Okay.
Down the fall of man. Enter Demon Etrigan.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, Gazelle, who just hit the side of this area right here, right by the waterfall, bounds off of that. And charges Spartan.
Do you want to dodge?
Ooh, and misses.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, she missed anyway. So
Oh.
she hits the rock next to you. Whoops, I grabbed both of you. I didn't mean to. And ends up behind Reptilla here in the little crevice in between the two boulders.
So, question about just
Do
logistics
we have a
and
cleric?
mechanics. Given that Spartan has a spear and someone is charging her, could she brace for impact and just wait? Is that an option for her? Or no?
I suppose theoretically yes, but she just did throw it, and the
Okay.
spear doesn't come back until the end of the round.
Gotcha. Okay. I was just curious, like generally speaking.
But I suppose yes. Now she would still take damage from whatever's coming her way, but she could in turn do damage to that individual.
Okay.
I do have knives.
All right, Hydron.
You also got your spear. Your spear should have come back as well. So
Eventually.
Yeah, it comes back at the end of the round. So Hydron aims his non-fist in the direction of the end of the bridge that he's standing on, and just starts spewing water out of the end, attempting to flood this entire lower area that you guys are in.
Huh.
God dang it, he got a 7. He goes...
Oh, he's got high evolutionary syndrome.
Performance anxiety
that happens to everyone.
It happens to guys your age, Hydron. I'm sorry about that. It's pretty common.
Really shouldn't, take it too hard.
Right.
Failure to perform.
All right,
dear.
Thorn climbs up on top of the green skull up here and sends out a flurry of red thorns off of his body in the direction of the majority of the individuals that are here, all grouped conveniently together.
No, I'm conveniently grouped.
Got a 49 to hit. Bombshell, you did not tell Mr. Arcane to put his shield up.
I did not. I'm a terrible person.
So he's going to attempt to dodge. Got a 45, which is going to be a -2 column shift, so on 49 on the remarkable column. It is not enough. He still takes damage.
Oh.
That is remarkable damage. So he takes 30.
Ooh.
Indy was evading, so he can't.
Yep.
So he takes 30. Priest, you would be one of the ones that would be in that area that he is attempting to target.
I think I'll hold off on choosing evade or dodge for right now.
So
You said it was 30?
Yeah.
Okay. My armor should take that.
Okay. Bombshell, you would also be in that area.
Okay. I think she'll just take it.
And Fiend.
I'm assuming the coat will eat 20 of it.
Yeah.
So I'll take 10.
And Fiend as well.
I'll let my Dark Force aura eat it, hopefully.
Okay. All right. Tank.
Did somebody get the number of that bus? Well, since we don't seem to have a cleric, I'm going to go for multiple actions. I believe that's raw fighting, and I'm going to call karma on that.
Good idea.
Right, because now it's exactly the time you want to pitch yourself on your face.
Yeah, so I do not get to add any of my talents for my fighting. It's just the raw fighting ability. Yes.
I think martial arts B applies, doesn't it?
I do have martial arts B.
Yep.
So that kicks me up to incredible. Calling karma. Ooh. I need actions here because I basically have to go full clobbering time on this guy if I hope to get out of this.
Mhm.
So 66 on incredible. To bring that up to a red is going to be about another 30 points. I will deduct that karma.
And actually, if you just spend 10, you're fine. A yellow with an incredible would get you your 2 extras.
Okay. And that's as high as I can go, I guess?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I am going to basically do a whappity on this guy. 3 punches, no waiting.
I would say we're PG rated, but we're not. Okay, that's fine. You can go whappity all over him if you want.
For once, I wasn't thinking in double entendre terms.
I mean,
Okay.
You want to you want to hit him with your turret? You do you.
So this is just going to be full standard fighting. It's incredible because of my martial arts, and I am calling karma on the first attack.
There you go.
That's a yellow. I will bring that up to a red. Let's see if we can stun this guy.
91.
Yeah, so that's another 30. Fortunately, I have a lot of karma in my pool. Hold on a second here.
No stun, unfortunately.
If I remember correctly, Bruticus is the one who normally fights the thing, so...
Well,
Yeah, let him have it.
monstrous strength is a little high for this genre, so I think my amazing is pretty good. So that's still 50 points of amazing damage, minus whatever armor he has.
Okay.
And the second attack is going to be same as the first. Again, spending karma. Ooh. Now that could get interesting. It's at least a potential slam and stun, or maybe it was just a slam.
He takes it like a champ, but I mean, you have hurt him for sure.
Yeah, but not as much as he has hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
And third time's the charm, I guess. Same thing, just pow, pow, pow. Okay, best I can do with that is get it up to a yellow. That's incredible. 38. It's just barely a green. I will need, again, another 30 points basically to get that up to a yellow.
All right. If you do that, you're going to hit him, so that's good. So
I wouldn't even have hit him with a green. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, if you would have been at the 38, you might not have hit him because he's evading.
Well, there's another 50 and maybe a stun. Yellow, I think, is a stun. Slam rather. Slam. Yeah. So I could get a slam. Let's see him go flying. Maybe.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Now, the good thing is, the direction is going to slam him right into the cliff right there. So that actually is probably going to take him out.
It's tanking time!
Yeah. Well done, man.
And you see Tank looking more exhausted than you have ever seen him. He basically looks like someone fired a what was the German anti-tank weapon they had? The Panzerfaust.
Yep.
Something like that.
Something
it was like an early man-portable anti-tank rocket launcher.
Panzerfaust.
He basically looks like a German division fired a couple of Panzerfausts at him. His metal skin is cracked and dented in a lot of places. He really didn't think he could get hit that hard in one single attack.
Oops, I went the wrong way.
Especially if it wasn't like, magic or energy or something weird that he knows could hurt him. Just someone strong enough to knock him down that much in one blow is kind of humbling.
But you know what? One of you standing, the other one ain't.
There is that, but it was close.
Okay.
What are you talking about? You have both your hit points left.
See here. Oh, Tank, you're just outside of her reach. You lucky son of a bitch. All right, so you see that little conical area right there?
Uh-huh.
She is aiming at that area, and I'm feeling particularly evil today, so I'm going to call karma.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
44. So we're going to get that up to a yellow. Actually, 10 karma will do it. So we get a yellow. So what you guys, that would be Bombshell, Mr. Arcane, Indiana Jones, and Priest.
Ooh.
What you guys are going to need to do, I clicked on the wrong person. Make an endurance feat.
Okay.
Call karma.
Karma.
No.
Is there a benefit to putting that up to yellow?
Yes.
We'll take it to yellow.
If you get a yellow, is there a benefit to putting it to red?
Let's see. There's definitely a benefit of putting it up to yellow because she got a yellow.
I think I'm going to put mine up to red.
That's fair.
Okay, so she's on the monstrous column. I gotta roll for Mr. Arcane. His endurance is remarkable. It's a
Yeah,
yellow.
Salem 7 is no joke.
And
No,
endurance.
I was not given how we got through the Wrecking Crew and a couple of other villain groups. I was not expecting. This is a fight.
Well, I know that they are Fantastic Four villains, and those tend not to be fun.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, so let me go back here and look at what everybody got. So Bombshell, you're getting it up to a yellow, correct?
Yep.
So that's +1.
That's just 10
plus
karma.
2 is... Okay, so you are at a -1 column shift to all physical actions. And this roll is going to be for everybody, so... For the next 10 hours.
Oh, God.
10 hours.
This is just like Vertigo from the Marauders.
Let's see here. So Priest, you got a yellow. Did you raise it to a red?
I did.
Okay. And you're on the incredible 1, 2. You are fine. Mr. Arcane was on the remarkable. We're bringing him up to incredible. Or bringing him up to red. So that is 1, 2, 3. He's fine. Indiana Jones, unfortunately, is not fine.
Indiana Jones. You don't have a character from a pulp power level and a Fantastic Four power level.
The fact that he is not paced
Yes.
already is a massive tribute to the man's resilience.
So he is going to be at a -1 column shift as well.
Yes, I think he has Class 1000 plot armor.
He has the probability field manipulation. So he can reverse his die at any time. But the caveat to that is at some point within a certain amount of rounds, it reverses on him and something bad will happen.
That really does fit the way the movies work. Is he has
really,
incredible luck and then incredible bad luck.
That really does.
It's a good mechanic. It really fits.
I'm going to go ahead and take my action before this last person goes.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Shifts over to around here, and he kind of holding his head. I can make you intangible so that you can't be attacked. Do you want me to do that?
Will I still be able to hit people?
Only if you tell me to take it off of you, which I can do at any time.
Yeah, let's just get myself into a slightly better tactical situation then. So yeah, let's do the magic-y bit.
All right, cool beans. I will roll for that. I will call karma. It's good that I did. I'll pay whatever it takes to get it up to a green.
On the amazing, to get to green is a 26. So
Okay,
10 will do.
Thank you. Awesome. And then I will go ahead and use my my cannons. I think I'm going to use both of them on Vertigo. I'll try one, and then I will try the other. Okay.
Cannons on Vertigo. Alright, so the one is certainly going to hit.
Okay. That's 40.
Oh, that's just a green though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And it does 40?
Yeah.
Alright, she's down. Fortunately, she's not going to be able to do any more of that equilibrium issue, but it still affects everybody, regardless, whether she's up or down. Okay. And that did 40 points of damage, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we are back at the top of the round because Vacuum is stunned. Oh, and that's Arcane, and he's not here, so that's me. Okay. Mr. Arcane is very concerned about, number one, we are all packed together in this tight little space. And number two, that door is opening and he doesn't know what's on the other side. So he is going to take flight and come out to this area, and he's going to try, as he's doing so, to bring his shield up and make an attack with an Eldritch blast, just simple Eldritch blast to Hydron here. See if he can knock him off of that bridge.
Oh, repelling blast. Okay.
47. Does damage, but unfortunately does not knock him off. Indy. His human shield is gone. And he really doesn't want to go past that snaky woman. So he is going to use his probability manipulation and attempt to hit the bottom of the skull sculpture and hopefully try to knock it off of its perch. He's going to wrap the whip around the base and give it a good yank and see if he can dislodge it. Let's see here. So it's going to be on the Incredible. So 35 becomes a 53 on the Incredible. Ugh. Still just a green. But I'm the GM, so I'm calling karma because I want it to happen. So he gives a good yank, and the skull begins to topple, heading down into the little crevice here where that little waterfall thing was going. Thorn is going to make an agility feat, does not make it, and he gets caught up in it and takes a little bit of damage from the fall as he rolls down into the pit. Will.
Well, Indy just changed the playing field a little bit. Am I able to get up here?
Where are you going? Yeah. Uh-huh. Now, that skull's not there anymore, but it's a nice flat little area now.
Now that I have a nice vantage point, I would like to use TK and grab Hydron and throw him at Nicolas Scratch.
Okay.
Hopefully knocking Nick over so we don't have whatever is in there happen. That's the theory anyway. I'll call Karma. Good thing I called Karma.
Yeah.
How much do I owe to get it up?
I mean, incredible. We got to get it to 31.
So 10.
Okay. All right, so you hit him. How much damage does that do?
40?
40? Okay. You hit him, and he goes out.
Okay.
And just kind of topples over the edge and ends up down in the crevice down there with Thorn.
Will just yells, "No, you were supposed to go that way!"
Yeah, you were throwing him, right?
I tried to. I squished him a little too hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking you were trying to slam him back.
Oh no, I was trying to grab him with telekinesis and throw him like a baseball.
Okay, sorry. That was my misunderstanding. So you would still hit. And that does 40 points of damage, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
All right, so you hit Nicholas, and he gets pushed back into the opening maw of that cave. Just as you see a pair of tentacles, green tentacles, reach out, grab him, and whoosh, pull him into the darkness.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I should have done, is it? Okay.
I mean, you didn't know.
I feel like evil tentacles coming out of the darkness is my thing, though. I mean, come on, Nick. What are you doing?
That's gimmick infringement.
That's
You
right.
should sue him.
Reptilla takes a step over this direction and then sends one of her bitey, snaky arms in Bombshell's directions. Got an 80 to hit with that. Are you evading?
Yeah, I might as well evade. I haven't chosen a defense yet.
All right.
I guess I roll that on. Evade is fighting, right?
Yep.
But the martial arts B doesn't count for evade, right?
I don't think it's B. One of them does, I think.
One
I
of them
can't
does,
remember
but
which one.
B isn't it? Oops.
Ooh.
All right. Well, that was a whole lot of nothing.
Did you say, and you didn't call Karma?
Nope.
Okay. All right. So
I forgot.
You're at a 0 on evade, and you're gonna take 30 points of damage.
30. Okay. Does the armor work on that?
Yes.
All right. So 10 then. And then, of course, yeah.
And now it's your turn.
No, it's supposed to be 20. And then my turn, so I heal 4. Okay. Well, she ruined my plan, which makes me very sad.
Curses.
Yeah. Well, I mean, she didn't ruin it by that much. I'm gonna roll for multiple actions and spending karma. Okay. We'll go up to a yellow on that. What was that? 35? Yeah, 35. Oof, I gotta go a long way.
61.
60.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 61. So 26.
But that'll get you your 3.
Okay. 26. All right. So then she's out. So then Shelly's just gonna step right here, I think. And she's going to send a column of lightning right up this way.
Right?
Unfortunately, I don't think. Well, it does kind of clip him. I mean, I'm gonna let you make that call. I'm not gonna say either way.
Draw me that line again.
And yeah, lightning bolt going up there. Karma on this. Okay.
Oops, I don't want to call him. I don't want to call him.
56. 10 will get me to yellow.
Oh man, going by the way it's going. I don't think you can hit all three of them.
Okay.
I think you can get Reptilla and Gazelle.
Yeah, and he's up anyways,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
He's up above, so
Mhm.
that's fine. So, yeah, I don't know if they can evade that or dodge that or not. Otherwise, that's 50.
All right, 50.
50 lightning, yep.
All right, so you hit both Gazelle and Reptilla, and their hair stands out on end, but they don't go down.
Okay. So,
oh, you got more, don't you?
yeah, I got more. So then she will then follow up. The hair standing up gives her a nice place to grab a hold of it with one hand and just ow, lightning punch her with the other. Karma.
Ooh,
That was unnecessary.
there you go. And damage on that one?
That's monstrous. I'm not trying to kill her, of course.
Gotcha. All right.
But I am trying to knock her out.
Her head explodes like a watermelon at a Gallagher concert.
All right, she's down.
And then just grimly walking forward right up into this one's face, and she just roundhouse kicks her.
With those... oh, you don't have high heels anymore, do you?
I don't think she does currently, no.
You got your big old combat boots on now.
Yep, got the boots, got the steel toes. And, yeah.
Ooh, look
Ooh.
at that.
Bombshells, not messing around anymore.
Stunned.
Okay. And that's 30 points of damage on that. Boom.
Kick her right in the face.
Yep. Now she was just not having it.
All right.
And she looks up at the guy on top of the rock and goes, "This is the part where you run."
Spartan, it's your turn. As you as that was going on next to you, Spartan, you do notice that Vacuum up on top of that rock above you is now kind of getting up and just becoming aware of what's going on around him, because he was stunned last round, but now he's coming to, and just saw his friend Gazelle's face get plastered into the side of a rock by a combat boot.
I would like to do one of those cinematic acrobatic tumbles up to where Vacuum is
Mm-hmm.
and stab him with one of my knives.
Okay.
Not to kill him, just to disable him.
Just to aerate him a little.
Yeah.
Light
little
aeration.
little
And I
aeration.
tell
Yeah.
Karma.
Those are the perforators.
That's
Oh,
right.
right.
That would be amazing for the attack roll, at least. And you're calling Karma, so
Yeah.
just roll them. Ooh, good call there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was still on the amazing. Even with amazing, it's still another 20 points of karma to make it a green. So at least
Let's
you hit.
do that.
Yeah. That's as far high as you can go. One color shift. Finally learned that after 2 years. So you hit. And the knives, I think, do good damage. They're not as good as your spear, which should be coming back to you. You know, you've got really good enhanced speed too. 6 areas per round.
Well,
but
the spear would have come back to her at the end of last round. So
okay.
She does have the spear. So
If
But I'm closer, so knives work better.
That's fair.
okay, I'm not sure what the knife damage is. Probably excellent.
Should be strength edged.
Oh, okay. Strength is edged, then is going to be excellent.
All right.
The spear has really high damage because it's vibranium.
So I'm gonna play Daddy GM here for you, Beth.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you, you're not taking full advantage over Spartan's fighting abilities.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
what should I be doing?
You should be rolling for extra actions every round. Because you're a really good fighter, and with that spear, like you could be doing triple damage with that spear. And I think you're missing out on some potentially good combos with that. So
I see.
That being said, this one time, I'm gonna let you make a multiple action. You call for multiple actions and see if you can get it, and
Okay.
then we can stick with it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
That would be so you do an amazing, and you probably want to call karma on that.
Yeah.
Okay, we can get that up to a yellow.
And that gets you a total of 3. Getting a yellow with what you've got, or actually with the amazing, honestly, with the green, you've got 3 actions.
Oh, then we'll just spend the minimum 10 karma on that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you have
so
2
I
more
have
actions.
2 more.
Mm-hmm.
I will aerate with the spear
Mm-hmm.
and on the whack with a knife.
Okay.
Okay, so that's first do the spear, which would be amazing. You want karma on the attack roll?
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
No,
yeah.
I got it. He's got it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to roll endurance for him. All right, he's stunned yet again, but you can still attack one more time.
Yeah, don't forget with the spear, it also reduces the armor by 2 column shifts.
Oh, right. Okay, and so damage on that is...
Damage on that is incredible.
Okay, all right, he's down then, completely.
I was just gonna say this vacuum guy really sucks.
Oh, da-da-da-da-da-da. You could probably throw a knife at Gazelle.
I will then throw the knife at Gazelle.
There you go.
I mean, she's out, right?
Yeah,
Is
just
she
for
only
a round.
stunned?
Gazelle, yeah,
Okay.
she still has hit points or health, and the case may be. So basically, thrown weapons is amazing. So roll for amazing for that one.
Yeah.
All right, 50 on that.
And
That's a hit.
excellent damage.
All right. All right, took her down a little bit more. But there you go. So that's what you can do with those multiple actions there, Beth.
Cool.
All right, so Nicholas, who has gone off screen and into the cave, you guys now feel a rumble that is coming out of that cave, and you now see these tentacles that are now kind of spewing out like an octopus. And so you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 arms pull this thing out of the maw of the cave. And if you thought the Dweller in Darkness was scary, a giant eyeball crawls
Hey guys,
out of the cave.
we gotta go.
And as it does so, it appears to be growing in size. I gotta get my calculator out here because some stuff was going on.
I would like to lobby for no.
Yeah, it looks like we still have Thorn. Who's up? In addition to the eye.
Okay, so take a look at where his health is right now. You see the little bar underneath, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's getting
Yeah, I see it.
he's getting stronger.
I see.
And I think with the reveal of the dreaded beast Shuma Gorath, we will call this for tonight and leave that as our cliffhanger as we go into battle with one of the most powerful creatures in the Marvel universe.
Now, I just hope somebody can kill me, because with 8 health and intangible, I'm going to be useless.
Hey,
Maybe you can get second wind.
Priest, what happens if someone stops being intangible inside of a solid object?
You know, I've thought about that, and I don't have an answer. I figure that's something that, if it comes up in gameplay, I'll have to ask
Okay.
Chris.
The GM knows that answer because he had a character from many years that had phasing power.
Yep.
Well, if you're like the Vision, it's one of your most powerful attacks.
So say it nasty if you're like Vision.
Yeah, I don't know. Did Kitty Pryde ever learn to use her power offensively like that? I mean, she appeared 40 odd years ago. God, I'm old. How I'm old. I still think of
yes.
her as the new character, you know?
Yes, she did. She became terrifying.
Yeah, because the early the Byrne and Claremont issues, she basically was really dangerous if you happened to be a robot. Otherwise,
No, Kitty learned not to solidify herself inside of other people, but to phase other people and then shove them into things.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Red Ghost could do that at one point, which was very, very nasty too.
Yep. Yeah, she that was one of, like, come up underneath of people, grab them by their legs, pull them into the ground.
Ow. Yeah, that's a good attack. Somebody spent their karma well.
Wolverine.
Remember,
she learned to fight from Wolverine.
Good point.
My namesake of Dreamslayer is the final iteration of the character that I created many years ago when I first started playing back in the 1980s. And Dreamslayer, for a short period of time, went through a phase where he had become seduced by the Hand.
Okay.
And was turned to evil for a while. And during that time period, he figured out how to utilize his phasing power to be able to reach into the chest of an individual and basically slough off the top layers of his fingertips of his skin to where it would only do like typical damage to himself, but immediately explode the heart of his victim.
Ouch.
Yeah. Or on some occasions would actually take it and pull it out. Or pull the thorax out, like do a
I feel like that's going to cost you some karma.
Yeah. Well, he was a bad guy at that point, so he was
true.
gaining karma for all of the murder.
For being badass.
Ouch.
Considering Indiana Jones is here, that would be thematically appropriate as far as attacks go.
Yes, right? Yeah.
Kalima.
All right, so we are going to award some karma points. Even though we're mid-battle, I think you might just possibly need it.
It could come in handy.
So let's see here. 425 karma points for tonight.
Wow. Okay.
Okey-dokey.
425. Got it.
And I think we will be meeting again, as usual, in 2 weeks.
That would be a good plan.
And depending on what we do, so one of my reasons for kind of cornering you guys a little bit tonight with the whole dialogue at the beginning of the session was to kind of figure out where we were going. And next session for sure, it's either going to be next session the grand finale, and this is our final battle, and then we say we're not putting the thing together, and we're going to send it all in different directions, or whatever the case may be. So we'll have to come up with some sort of decision one way or the other. If we decide to put it together, I'm okay either way. 100%, we want this to be the finale. This is a good finale, trust me. But it will hinge on your decision on what you want to do with the Eden mechanism. Then, I'll be honest with you, that's the end of In the Mouth of Madness, In the Shadow of Evil, the two pieces that I had written and have already played. At this point, we will then be moving on to Campaign 3.
Cool.
Which I have about 2/3 written at this point, and the rest of it, I kind of know where I want to go with it, but it's not done. So I've got enough where we could probably start moving in that direction. We may have to take a week off in between sessions just so I can prep everything up in Foundry. Because I have nothing in Foundry for that game. So it may take me a little bit of extra time to kind of get that up and running. So just be potentially prepared for that. Also, I want to kind of... I've been working on my Everyday Heroes release, which just got released this past Wednesday. So that's kind of now... out of my way so I can start focusing on other things, and the other thing that I need to focus on is probably finishing off the campaign 3 for In the Shadow of Evil. So that's going to be probably my focus. So, but just wanted to at least kind of prepare you guys for that, and again, that's kind of why I wanted to get some of that dialogue out tonight.
I am definitely interested in being in the third part of the campaign whenever it's ready. Beth?
Yes.
Yeah, so you got at least 2 people signed up.
And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be completely different. Well, I mean, still same characters, still same world, all of that sort of stuff. But as far as what you're doing and like doing all this reclaiming stuff, we're going in a completely different direction. And
Cool.
a completely different part of the world. We're going to be in the Pacific Theater for the third session.
Cool. I think that's very cool. I'm looking forward
pretty
to
cool.
having us go through, same old characters, brand new world. It's kind of like we're doing, the HBO series. We've done, Band of Brothers. Now we're going to do, what was the name? It was the Navy one, was the Band of Brothers. They did the Army, and then they did the Air Force. Masters of the Air was the Air Force one. Band of Brothers was the Army one. I cannot remember what the hell the Navy one was called, but it was really good.
All right, well, I think we'll call it for a close tonight. Everybody, good playing with you as always, and then we'll see you in 2 weeks for perhaps the grand finale of In the Mouth of Madness.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Ladies, has good night.
Goodbye.
Take care. Have a good
Oh,
one.
was that Boosty? Did Boosty come into the game? Yes.
No. That was Lady.
Oh, that lady came into the computer
Yeah.
room? Huh. You tell your viewers they have a rare cat sighting. Very rarely does any cat other than Rocket or Booster show up in here.
That's impressive.
Yes.
All right, good night,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Y'all
Bye
take
bye
care.
and bye bonds.